Hey guys, Alex here, otherwise known as Clash Style. In today's video, we are going to be jumping in and taking a look at some of the insane attacks in this recent war between Hydrogen Gaming and Queen Walkers. Yes, Queen Walkers, the number 2 team in the world, the team that just got beat in the final by alternate attacks in the 2020 World Championships. These guys are phenomenal, but Hydrogen Gaming, they didn't let that, get in their heads. They came down and put in one hell of a shift. And today we're going to be jumping in and taking a look at some of these triple attacks. Alright, so the first one we're going to be jumping in here and taking a look at comes in from Gaku of Queen Walkers, and he is going to be starting over here on this left hand side of the base with a Queen Charge, and you can see he is going to be coming in here with Hybrid. And this left hand side of the base is looking pretty juicy for a hybrid. Plenty of options for this queen to step up to. Loads of heavy hitting defenses. We've already dealt with a couple of them, but she's now going to make her way in, deal with one of those expos. She's also got the Town Hall and a scatter shot in there to deal with, but there's a tornado trap. Kencast baiting the hell out of this entry, and that tornado is going to pull these healers in range of the Town Hall, so the Town Hall gets a few beams on them, and then that scatter shot is also going to get one shot off, so Gaku does have to commit a free spell right there, and unfortunately we have already lost that queen ability as well because that tornado trap pulled her in so far. So without that queen ability, she's now going to have to deal with all of these clan castle troops, and those healers have unfortunately came in range of that air defense because again of that tornado trap, unfortunately causing Gaku a lot of issues. We're going to be able to get that poison spell going down for those pups over there on that left hand side, but unfortunately with all of those healers dying out to the hybrid very early on in this attack, this is already starting to look a little bit dodgy here for Gaku. The queen did get a nice chunk of value on that left hand side, but she does end up going down, and everything now depends on the shoulders of these hogs and these miners. But it looks to me like the majority of those hog riders unfortunately have already died out. But remember, we're going to have some coming out of that siege barracks for a little bit of backup here as the attack progresses. We've still got our royal champion ability in hand as well as a freeze. A freeze? It's a funny looking freeze. We've got a heal and a rage spell left up in this attack, and Gaku's going to need to make sure he gets these spell placement and the timing down absolutely spot on. We dropped down that heal spell. That's going to allow our hogs to get through this multi-target inferno in the middle of the base. Unfortunately, that single target inferno up there at that top section does end up taking down our royal champion, and Gaku, who had that rage spell saved because obviously his queen did die out, he's going to drop that down here on the back end. That's going to allow his miners to get through that single target inferno nice and quickly, and there is just about enough left up here on the back end for Gaku to squeak out a triple. But you can see Kencast put some time and effort into that bait, and it very nearly paid off. The hybrid unfortunately here was too well passed, and the spell timing and placement spot on as always from Gaku of Queen Walker. So that's it. Not the strongest of triples I've seen coming in, but he does clutch up and brings in a triple right there for Queen Walkers to kick off this video. Okay, so the next one we're going to be taking a look at comes in from Kilo. Still not too sure how to pronounce this guy, but he's going to be coming in against level 0 right here, and he's going to be coming in with this spam strategy. Now, this spam has been taking over the meta. I've seen a lot of different players using it, and it's going to be this Octo Quake, the Quad Quake coming down there in the middle of the base, and then a Quad Quake we're actually going to be using to open up on the outside. And it's interesting that Kylo decided to use those on the outside of the base. Honestly, I think a jump spell would have probably been just as good, if not better, because then we could have had 2 extra spell space to deploy. But regardless, Kylo going to be dropping those Quad Quake on the outside of the base. Remember, it is going to weaken up a lot of those defenses, and it means we can get burned through them pretty quickly on. We're actually going to see that Golem popping, taking down a couple of those structures early on. Now, the log launcher is always the MVP of these style of attacks, so keep an eye on those logs and how much value they're going to end up getting. They're not only rolling over the scatter shot, they're also taking down a lot of those clan castle troops. You can see the clan castle troops getting thrown off the map here, and that is pretty damn clutch. We're going to commit a free spell over here on that left hand side of the base to the scatter shot and this single target inferno, just trying to keep everything up right there for as long as we possibly can. There's the tornado trap catching everything right as we make our way into that town hall compartment, but we're going to see the log launcher doing a load of work and actually ending up taking down that town hall right there with the help of those heroes. We're going to see a couple of Yetis coming out of that log launcher. They are going to be able to do a little bit of work here on the back end. The Yeti mites of course can do a lot of damage onto those defenses if given the chance. One witch in support up there on that top section as well, but we still got two of our hero abilities, the Royal Champion and the Queen ability, to drop here on the back end of this attack. And Kylo coming in here with a very nice triple for the guys over in Hydrogen Gaming. Somehow, some way, that Royal Champion has not gone to auto ability, clutching on to dear life right there, and she is going to end up pretty much swagging her ability. Doesn't even really need to drop it, but is going to throw it down right there. Also popping that Queen ability. A nice triple on the board for Hydrogen Gaming. Level 0 is going to be coming in on this next one. And this attack, when I first saw it, it really did, you know, capture my imagination, because look at that composition. It's quite a different spell composition and an army composition to the usual Super Witch attack strategies we see. Now, I made a Super Witch strategy guide on my video not that long ago. People seem to have loved it. If you guys haven't checked it out already, I would recommend it. And in most of those strategies, we saw the kind of 5 zap spell, 1 quake method coming in. But this strategy right here, we've got 2 rage, we've got a jump, we've got 2 freeze, a invisibility spell, 2 scaly spells, and then another rage in there. So actually 3 rage spells. I just thought this was an incredibly interesting composition, but I guess that's how Queen Walkers, why they're known for being the most creative attackers in the game. We know how strong Klaus can be and how many different clickbait videos are made out of him and his attacks. He was one of the first to use Barch when Blizzard was broken. And yeah, I guess the guys in Queen Walkers have been experimenting with different strategies and found that this composition here of Super Witches is incredibly strong. And level 0 going to be letting that Grand Warden over there on that left hand side of the base just do a little bit of work, taking out some of those structures, creating that funnel, and now we can focus in on pushing our Super Witches towards the Town Hall portion of this base. Of course, we're going to be bringing in that Siege Barracks as well, dropping it down at the 6 o'clock section here. It's going to be pushing up along the right hand side to 3 o'clock. We get an army of headhunters coming out of that clan castle, so we are going to have to pop the Grand Warden ability right there just to mitigate a little bit of that damage. Unfortunately, we are going to see an Expo locking on to our Grand Warden, so unfortunately, oh, he nearly goes down. He just wanders out of range of that Expo at the very last second. So that Grand Warden going to be just surviving for a little bit right here, but one shot from pretty much anything. Yep. There's the Expo taking him down finally, but regardless, we've got those Super Witches continuing to push into the base. Some of those witches and the wizards, the witches that went alongside these siege barracks, are actually going to be kind of pushing into the core with the rest of our troops, getting some really nice value. Now, this is the interesting portion of this attack. Look at the Skelly spell going down right there, tanking for that single target Inferno, doing a phenomenal job. We also have the invisibility spell, there it is right there, that helps this Royal Champion not only take down a couple other structures, but also means she doesn't end up going down herself to that single target Inferno. And this attack was just so well thought out. He knew exactly where his Royal Champion was going to go, what spells he would need to keep her going through the back end, and what spells he would need to propel his Super Witches into the interior of the base. And this gets absolutely crushed. Nick Helios gets well and truly smacked here by level 0. Chukas, definitely probably butchering that name, but yeah, that was a really, really nice attack coming in right there for Queen Walkers. Next one we've got is coming in from Goblin Cleaver, and he's going to be coming in with that Octo Quake, Golem, Super Wizards, and Witch attack. Now, this is basically just a go wee wee. It's a pretty strong go wee wee, and it's been tripling a lot of bases. I've seen this used all over the place, and it does seem to be working for people. I'm not a big fan of the spam strategies where you throw down a couple of spells, you throw in your troops, and kind of hope and pray for the best, but I guess that's kind of what's working in the meta right now, and that's certainly what Goblin Cleaver is going to be bringing in. You can see that log launcher used in these attacks all the time, and they really do get a lot of value coming in. Those 2 single target Infernos do lock onto some of our troops early on in this attack, but Goblin Cleaver not going to let that worry him. We're going to see that log launcher finally opening up those wall sections in the middle of the base, but unfortunately the majority of his troops, including that king, I don't really know where that king's going. He's just wandered off to the outside of the base right here, not quite playing ball, and he is going to be off on his travels. But we've got a couple of troops remaining in the center of the base. The big issue here is that Town Hall has not gone down to our log launcher. Most of the time in these attack strategies, you're going to be looking for that log launcher to roll a couple of logs over the town hall and maybe take it down before your troops actually get there, just to mitigate some of that damage and to stop, you know, the town hall just shredding through everything on the back end. But we're going to see, finally, we get a couple of Yetis step up onto that town hall. The Yeti Mites able to take down a couple other structures as well. We do still have two witches working their way from the bottom section of the base. The king going to be doing a little bit of tanking alongside this one golem that's actually left up here. Luckily, we did still have a poison spell in hand as well, so that means that Goblin Cleaver can drop down that poison to help him get through those lava pups that came out of the clan castle. Multi-target Inferno here on the back end, not really going to cause us too many issues. The thing that I'm sure Goblin would have been worrying about is that Grand Warden statue. He does so much damage, but luckily we are going to see the Golem and the King doing a little bit of tanking for us on the back end. We did unfortunately lose our Grand Warden, but that is just about going to be enough to bring in Goblin that triple, giving Hydrogen Gaming, you know, a bit of encouragement in this war. And here he is, Mr. Creative, going to be coming through on this final attack that we are going to be watching from Queen Walkers, and it is, of course, Klaus. Going to be coming in here with a 7 zap spell, Sui Lalo. And this really is a special attack. The first time I watched this, I was in awe. The creativity, you know, you might just think it's a Zap Lalo, but it's really, the brains behind some of these attacks are just phenomenal. So we start off here with an Ice Golem from this bottom section of the base. We allow our King to step up, walk his way around to not only create the funnel, but then he's going to be doing a little bit of tanking here as our King and our Queen have pushed their way into that base. Ideally here, we're looking to take down the enemy Royal Champion, the Eagle Artillery, and then the Clan Castle troops and whatever else we can grab. So Klaus also going to be committing in his Royal Champion here through this left-hand side of the base. The poison spell has allowed our heroes just to, you know, not take too much damage from the clan castle troops. Royal Champion getting some nice value right there. We are going to have to go to Queen Ability. She should step up though, maybe grab a couple more of these defenses before she finally goes down. But we didn't really end up committing too much to this portion of the attack. Ideally, we could have been able to take down the Queen in the center of the base, but it was not quite to be. So we're going to see Klaus now trying to be nice and creative, as he always is, bringing in a Lava Hound in from this left hand side. Quite a few balloons actually going to be coming through. We do commit a freeze spell, so that Hound does a nice job tanking. We let that blimp fly all the way overhead. We're then going to burst it on top of this scatter shot. And we've just got so many balloons in this attack, completely wiping out this left-hand side of the base. Not only taking out some of the key defenses, the scatter shot, you know, the air defenses, etc. We also have that blimp with a dragon in it taking care of the enemy Queen. They just traded lives. It was 1-for-1 on shots, but Klaus luckily was able to take care of that enemy Queen with his dragon. And now we're going to be bringing in this Lalo from the right hand side of the base, playing, you know, a risky game going opposite town hall side. Queen Walkers did bring in a 1-star in this war, which is why Hydrogen Gaming ended up getting that win. But you can see here Klaus very, very patient with his Lalo, building up from this bottom and right hand section of the base, making sure those balloons go exactly where he wants them to. He's going to drop down that freeze spell for the air defense and the scatter shot. He's going to use that haste to propel everything on through. He's then going to freeze on the back end, the town hall and that wizard tower. And to be honest, he is so patient. I would have already probably dropped my Eternal Tome ability, but he makes sure those balloons get onto the town hall before he drops that Eternal Tome ability, keeping them alive throughout the back end of this attack, just to do a little bit of cleanup work and, you know, just to speed along the percentage there on the back end. And Klaus ends up bringing in a really, really nice triple with a boatload of these balloons. Usually you don't see this many balloons in a Lalo attack, but 30 of them going to be coming through for him right there. The last attack that we are going to be taking a look at comes in from Ken Cass, my hero. I'm a big fan of Ken Cass. He's very, very creative with his attacks, and this attack right here is one that he's been trying out recently. It is this P.E.K.K.A. Bowler Smash. He is really, really strong with a variation of different strategies, but this I think is probably one of his favorites right now. We're going to see him kicking off proceedings here with that Grand Warden Walk coming in from the bottom section of the base. He is going to be used to hopefully step up here and take care of that town hall. Now, it's not too often we actually see these Warden Walks pushing in to grab any of these key defenses. The Town Hall with that Inferno, or any of the scatters, the Inferno towers, anything like that. Most of the time we're going to see the Grand Warden just do a little bit of tidy up work, a little bit of clean up, creating that funnel on the start of the attacks. And then you use your main army composition to take care of these big defenses. But Kencast, you know, he's stepping up to the mark here. He's going to use that Grand Warden with a rage spell nice and early on. He's going to be able to step up here, take care of that Town Hall, and now he can focus in on the remainder of his attack. Starting off proceedings for the remainder with his King and a Siege Barracks from this left-hand side of the base. In come those P.E.K.K.A.s, in come those Bowlers, and now he's going to turn all of his attention to pushing everything right into the interior of the base. There's that jump spell coming down, making sure he has access through the base. He does also have a poison spell to drop for when the Lava Hound that is currently causing a couple of issues, pulling that Queen slightly further probably back than Ken was looking for, but when that pops, there's the poison spell coming down right on cue. We've got the multi-target Inferno over here on that left-hand side, going down to the Hog Riders that came out of that Siege Barracks, the Royal Champion, helping out a little bit right there as well. One more jump spell going down in the center of the base, giving us some nice access throughout the back end of this base. We are going to continually drop free spells down here on the Multi, the Eagle, and the Grand Warden statue at the top section of the base. Doing that made sure we didn't have those Eagle shots raining down throughout the entirety of this attack, mitigating some of the damage that goes onto those Bowlers. Keeping those Bowlers alive for as long as possible is always really important in these attack strategies, because if you lose them early on, they're going to lose that sort of bounce value that they get in the middle of these bases. And you can see here, Ken does still have 2 of his hero abilities. Not too many of these troops left on the back end. Couple of those P.E.K.K.A.s lurking at the top section. The healers kind of betrayed the heroes right here, but it is not going to matter. We're able to throw that Seeking Shield ability, get some nice value from it. We're also going to throw that Queen ability in, because why not? We've got plenty to tank here on the back end. The Ice Golem hopefully might step out in front, do a little bit of tanking for the remainder of our troops. Queen pushing her way around the right hand side of the base. Those 2 P.E.K.K.A.s at the top don't even need to be used, and this is a nice triple coming in for Ken, and this was one of the triples that helped propel them to a 13-12 victory against Queen Walkers. Queen Walkers unfortunately did have a 1-star that ended up losing them this war. Alright, and that is all we've got time for in this one. I really hope you guys did enjoy it. Queen Walkers are one of my favourite teams to watch. They are so creative. I cannot take anything away from the guys over in Hydrogen Gaming. I recently did an interview with them. If you guys haven't seen it already, it was a face-to-face interview. We had those face cams up. When I say face-to-face, I mean my face on a face cam, their face on a face cam, not face-to-face, because you know, COVID. But yeah, it was an absolute blast doing that with the guys from Hydrogen Gaming, and plenty of the guys we actually saw in this war here were in that interview. So if you guys do want to find out a little bit more about Hydrogen Gaming, maybe you know, put names to faces, etc., you guys can jump over and check out that interview. But yeah, really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Let me know in the comments which one of these attacks was your favourite. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video tomorrow. Peace.